Stop letting your emotions control you and damn near ruin your life. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel where we talk all about self-improvement, personal development, self-help, basically anything that we need to know in order to level up. Today I want to talk all about anger, specifically the two instances where we let our anger control our lives, control how we show up, and both of these instances can be catastrophic. The first instance where I used to really notice anger just control everything about me was when I was lashing out on people. And this often happened like to my loved ones. I would lash out on them. And obviously, nobody likes to be yelled at. Nobody likes to feel disrespected. And quite frankly, nobody has to put up with that from you. I lost so many relationships because of my inability to control my emotions when I was upset. So this is what I learned. When you are lashing out on people, ask yourself why it is, because it is not normal to completely just explode on someone. There has to be a reason for it. Do you maybe wait until you're super angry to affirm or even set a boundary? Like the emotions have to get so strong and so out of control for you to finally stand up for yourself, put your foot down. And there is nothing wrong with setting boundaries, especially like with loved ones. A lot of the times we need to set our boundaries in order to protect our peace, in order to not feel like we are being disrespected ourselves, in order to feel like we are not getting taken advantage of or getting asked too much of ourselves. That is perfectly fine, but it's an issue when you are unable to do that. And because you're unable to do that, and because you're unable to just really express how you feel to somebody, you get so angry and so riled up and so fed up, and you just feel continuously disrespected that you decide that, hey, you've been me over for so long, now's my time to express myself and to kind of make you feel like shit, right? Because when we wait so long to finally express our concerns or like dissatisfaction in a relationship, if we wait until we are just super pissed off, what happens? We oftentimes disrespect and attack the other person. And maybe we do it to hurt the other person, or maybe it's just like a cry for help. Maybe we think, and I think this was particularly true for me, like I thought if I lashed out on someone, they'll see how upset I really am. They'll take me seriously. They'll see how hurt I feel. And they will never cross that boundary again. But that isn't the case. Oftentimes when you attack someone and disrespect someone, they are not going to be like, oh, let me try to understand where they're coming from. No, they're going to be fucking mad. And when you are that reactive, it has the opposite effect. So I really had to learn to either communicate my boundaries very early on, like from that first time that somebody upset me or that somebody did something that I didn't think was cool. I had to learn to, even if it felt uncomfortable, even if it felt a little bit awkward, to just simply say that I didn't like that. Or if I hadn't established a boundary yet, I had to learn to just remove myself from the situation when I was extremely upset, like literally just try to bottle everything in until I was alone so that the other person didn't get the heat. And then I would come back and communicate my emotions when I was a lot more calm. And what sucks is that when you react very emotionally, like you're not going to be taken seriously. Like people are going to start thinking you're crazy. People are going to start thinking you're like an emotional mess. You're irrational. One, and then two, you're going to end up being the one that has to do the apologizing. And even after you apologize, like that boundary that you tried so hard to establish through your outcry, like it's just not going to be taken seriously. Understand that there is no logical reason to get to this point. The more that you remind yourself that, hey, you have to start establishing your boundaries early on, you have to start calling out that you didn't like early on as soon as it happens. And once those boundaries have been established, you have to learn to accept the fact that if a person is continuously like breaking those boundaries and it's just showing you that they do not give a damn about your feelings, because when somebody repeatedly breaks your boundaries, like that's what it means. When they are showing you that, then you have to make the choice to remove yourself from that situation, either by distancing yourself from the person or completely cutting ties with like that relationship. And once you realize that you have the choice to walk away, you are not going to ever want to get to a point where you just completely lash out on somebody because you know you have too much to lose when you do. Like you will literally be looked at so differently. And this has happened to me so many times in the past. I have bipolar. I was also diagnosed with BPD. So my emotions are very strong. And whenever I'm having like an episode, they're very, very strong and they're very heightened. And I used to go off on people when I got like this, but it always ended up the same exact way. I was always like, oh, the crazy bipolar girl. Oh, she doesn't know how to control her emotions. Like, what a child. She's so immature. She's so this and this and this. And it literally changes how you are perceived by others. So there is just no reason to allow yourself to lash out on somebody. You have to learn to control that. And when you realize like what the problem actually is, like what you are actually trying to get or what you think that you are going to get by lashing out on somebody, it becomes a lot easier. For me, like I said, it was that I thought people were finally going to understand me, going to hear me, going to show that they cared about me if I lashed out on them. And after I had that realization, I had to really just sit with myself and be like, is this really the outcome that happens? And it wasn't. It was the complete opposite. Now I know what my other two options are: to either come back and revisit the situation when I'm a lot more calmer, or walk away from that relationship if my boundaries are repeatedly crossed. Now, the second instance where I see that we oftentimes let our emotions control us is through minor daily inconveniences. And it might seem very trivial to like get annoyed, frustrated, angry at others throughout the day. But I believe that these emotions can have lasting effects. So I made this association when I was reading the 4 Agreements, and I have a video on what I learned from reading that book. It's a really, really good book, and I definitely recommend everybody to read it because it truly changed my life. But the first agreement that the author talks about is to be impeccable with your word. So our words are, the author describes it as kind of like spells. Like they literally make up everything around our lives. Like every thought is made up of words. Every sentence that we speak to others is made up of words. And when we are choosing to be impeccable with our word, we are acknowledging just how powerful our words are. We are living life with that in the back of our minds, and we are choosing to not ever use that power against ourselves. And yes, of course, this means, don't think negatively about yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't, use self-deprecating humor, like that. But it also has like indirect components. For example, let's say that you are driving, you're in the safety of your own car. Somebody cuts us off. We're like, oh, fuck this person. People don't know how to fucking drive. Oh, why did they cut me off? Blah, 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 blah. You are spewing out so much negativity, so much hate, so much poison. It's controlled and fueled by anger. And then let's say that we were driving to work. We're at work. We have to deal with, just very difficult customers. We're like, oh, this customer is so stupid. Oh, people are so dumb. People don't know how to drive. People don't know how to act in public. People are not mindful at all. And then you're driving home from work. Same thing. Oh, I swear, people are so rude, so obnoxious, so dumb because maybe they're honking or something, right? And then you get home and your roommate or your spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is, asks you, oh, hey, how was work? How was your day? Oh, my day was horrible. I had to deal with so many people that just, were horrible. I hate people. Like they really I can't deal with them. I hate them. Why is everybody so dumb? Oh, my day was horrible. And we think that those passive thoughts, those angry passive thoughts, does not affect us, right? We think we are spewing our anger at other people. Let's say at the person who cut you off. Oh, you're cussing him off. You're spewing all this anger at this other person. And he can't even hear you, but like it makes you feel good because he sees you like making angry facial expressions, or you're just like releasing that anger, and you think it doesn't affect you, but it shapes your entire day. Now you went home thinking, oh, you had the worst day ever because you had to deal with the worst people ever, versus let's say you were driving to work, you were blasting your little song, somebody cut you off, you get mad, right? You feel like you want to go and cut them off, and then you're like, damn, you know what? Maybe they're in a rush. Maybe they woke up late and they're late to work. Who cares? Like, let me get over it. It's not that big of a deal. It's fine. I've done that too. I cut people off too sometimes. I've woken up late. I run late a lot of the times. Like, it's fine. And then you go to work and you deal with like a difficult customer. And you're just like, damn, I would hate to like be so angry or so like hard-headed. Maybe like something's up. Like whenever I have a mood, it's because something is like going on in my personal life. Let me try to like talk to her. Let me compliment her to like soften her up. And then, you've completely turned the situation around. And then you go to work, people are honking. And you're like, damn, people are probably just so excited to go home. Oh, me too. But you're not letting like that anger like really build up inside you. You're not fueling that anger. And then you get home, your spouse or whoever it is asks you, oh, how was work? Oh, you know what? I don't know. Today was good. It was a good day. Nothing special happened. Nothing out of the ordinary. But it was good. It was an okay day. How was yours? And you see how like that can just completely change the trajectory of your day. We think that these emotions do not control us. We think, oh, they're just passive thoughts. I'm not acting out on them. Oh, it's whatever. But these emotions are controlling how we show up as a person. And I am telling you this because I have been there, right? Like everything would set me off. Everything would bother me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting in any physical altercations. Like, I'm getting mad at people I will never see again. It's fine, but that shit affects you. You are not being impeccable with your word. You are not recognizing the power that your words have on you. And by you spewing the anger, spewing the hatred onto other people, you are spewing it right back onto yourself. You are using the power of your words against yourself because you are becoming bitter and angry. And that is not a way to live a healthy, happy life. So you have to try to force yourself to control your anger, control your emotions, because they have the power to shape your entire reality. And that was all that I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the whole video and for making it to the end if you did. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe because it helps me out a lot, and so that we can embark on this leveling up journey together, because I do talk about all things personal development, self-improvement, like I mentioned earlier. And until next time, bye.